Okay, so today, guys, we're starting Unit 2, and we're dealing with, to begin, square roots. And this is going to set us up for the rest of our unit, especially with right-angled triangles. So trigonometry is what we're going to work on, which is the study of side lengths of triangles and angles and the relations between them. Yeah, we're going to start with square roots. Okay, so square roots, you might have seen the sign before. Kind of looks like that. It's on your calculator. Should be able to find it. If you were to write a square root of any number, so just say 25, that would be the square root of 25. So we're going to do a couple little reviewers, and some of this should be pretty straightforward for you guys. So the review of powers, okay? So powers are when we have a number and we've got something up top. So a number and then say something up top. So powers are basically exponents, but when we refer to it as to the power of usually 2 in this case. So if we review some examples, 5 to the power of 2 is the same as writing 5 times 5, and that's the same as being equal to 25. 9 to the power of 2, or 9 squared, is the same as 9 times 9, or 81. And then 10 squared, or 10 to the power of 2, is the same as 10 times 10, which is also equal to 100. So whatever your exponent is what you're multiplying the base by that many times. So if I had, say, 5 to the power of 4, that's the same as being equal to 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, okay? So we're multiplying the base by itself this many times, okay? So once again, we have our base, which is this a right here, and the n being the exponent, or the thing on top. Many of you seem to write it like if I did 2 to the power of 2 on your keyboards, you kind of do that, which is fine as well. That shows me that it's superscript, which is totally cool. Then we look at square roots, okay? So the square root is the base with which the exponent 2 gives us the answer to the power. So basically, this is the answer to the number squared, okay? So in this case, if we have the square root of 25, okay, we need to find the number that is equal to that squared. And when we type that in on our calculator, it kind of just does it for us. So on a calculator, if I put the square root of 25, it would equal 5. So what are we finding? Well, we're finding the number that when squared equals 25. So on a calculator, like I said, you'd press 2, 5, then the square root button. That looks like this. All right. So you guys should be able to find this on your calculators. If you're using an iPhone, you would turn you would turn your screen sideways, and then it's in the third row on the left side there. It's got 2 and a little x, so it might look like this. Okay. Yeah, and that's kind of how we deal with this. All right. The next one, square root of 81. So we're trying to find a number that equals 81 when it's squared, and I would type in 81 and then that little sign on our calculator. So in this case, 9. For the next one, square root of 100, or what number squared equals 100? I do 1, 0, 0, then the square root button, giving us the square root of 10. Okay. If we looked at the following work, I'd like you guys to try and do this on your calculators while you're following here. So if I did the square root of 36, it would be 6. Does anybody want to write in the chat what the next one would be? Square root of 225. Square root of 225. Thank you, Carson. I think you guys were looking at question 6 there, so it is 15. And then the square root of 324 is 18. How about the square root of 169, if you could write that in the chat? That is correct. And then finally, the last one, 106. If someone wants to write that in the chat. Exactly. And that's a very good 10.3 is really important there because it says round off to 1 decimal place if necessary. And it was actually 10.29. And we can take those two numbers to round it to 10.3. Okay. So you guys have the assigned work. If you want to begin working on that, that would be